Joining us now for more on this is NBC News legal analyst Danny Cevallos. Danny, always great to have you with us. Thank you so much. So let's start on jury selection. Just walk us through kind of how that's going to look in a case like this, what you'll be watching out for.
Jury selection is going to be key in that you're looking to decide whether or not do you want parents on this case? Do you want gun owners? Remember, you're in Michigan. Michigan is a state. I'm a Michigander. A lot of folks have firearms in the home in Michigan because they hunt a lot. So this is a culture that may have a rather understanding view that there are firearms in the home, and maybe they tend to think that parents aren't automatically responsible for anything that happens with a firearm if the kid takes the gun and leaves the house. So jury selection in a case like this is key, but at the same time, I've long believed that jury selection is a lot like astrology. You can come up with all these different theories, but there really isn't a whole lot of science behind it.
I like that. Let's talk about Ethan potentially testifying. So Jennifer Crumbley, his mother's attorneys, they have asked the judge to compel Ethan to testify. However, since he is appealing his sentence, right? Am I getting this right?
Exactly
his
right.
attorneys
well,
are...
he may be appealing his sentence.
Okay.
He doesn't know yet.
And his attorneys are saying, we don't think we want him to do that. I mean, that sounds like some tension there. I'm assuming that the mother wants him to be testifying because in some way that can help her case. Walk us through kind of both sides of this.
Easy analysis for Ethan's attorneys. Tell him not to testify under any circumstances because it could really damage any appellate rights that you have. As for Ethan himself, ultimately, the client, the defendant, someone has an absolute right to forego their Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. As for the parents, they want Ethan to testify because presumably he's going to get up there and say, hey, I did this all by myself. This was an independent act. They didn't know anything. That won't save the day for the defendants because the government's going to put on lots of evidence about all the warning signs. But, you know, in American law, we do have a concept that typically, parents are not automatically liable for the torts, the wrongdoings of their children, and we typically don't hold someone responsible for a completely independent act by another person. Now, however, this was someone who had access to the firearm and the parents gave him access to the firearm. This really could go either way. This is not a foregone conclusion. This is not an automatic conviction for the state here. This is going to be an uphill battle because there are a lot of different places to point the blame, including possibly school administrators. That's what the defense will do. I'm not saying that's where the blame lies, but they may point at school administrators. They may point at their own son. They may point at each other.
Yeah. Do you think that the fact that they asked to be tried separately is an indication of that or not necessarily?
It's hard to say. Early on, the parents seemed to put on a unified front. You may remember there was reporting that they were communicating with each other. But, you know, those things change after you sit in jail for a while. So just even as a trial strategy, not really how they feel, they may end up really blaming each other. And you can see how that would turn out. Maybe the wife would say, he ruled the house with an iron fist. I never wanted those firearms in there, although there are some text messages that tend to disprove that. And the father might take the same tack and say, hey, she was involved with the firearm. I barely knew we had firearms in the house. I mean, the evidence may contradict that, but look, they may adopt that strategy just for the trial. There's a lot of blame potentially that they could spread around and look for them to do that.
What exactly would prosecutors have to prove? I mean, I think just for anybody at home who's listening who's not a lawyer, you hear some of these, you know, pretty disturbing details about what it seems the parents knew. What is it, though, that would have to be proven in order for them to be held accountable for involuntary manslaughter as they've been charged with?
Involuntary manslaughter is an unintentional killing that results from what's called criminal negligence. And what that means is that the parents will have had to consciously disregarded an obvious risk. They wouldn't be just held automatically liable for anything awful the child does. That's why you're going to see a lot of evidence of warning signs. Warning signs equal what we call in the law notice. And if you have notice of a problem and you fail to do anything about it, then the state can possibly prove that you were reckless, that you disregarded a risk. And those risks were the behavior of their son, how he appeared to be dangerous. And of course, they're going to counter with, look, we did everything we could. We relied on the school. And we never thought, as troubled as we thought he was, we never thought he would do this.
Danny Cevallos, thank you very much. A tough one, unprecedented one. We appreciate you being here to walk us through it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.